Yes, yes, this is What Do We Know? And I'm still happy to do this because I've always wanted to have a podcast or like a TV show of my own because I like to talk. Anybody who knows me personally will tell you that for me, talking is a part of life. Everybody should talk. Maybe not everybody. I should just talk me. Yeah. But I'm so happy that I'm finally getting to do this. It's been months and months of planning and strategizing, and here we are. What do we know? Now, this podcast is going to focus primarily on talking about things that sort of have become a culture, a way of life for people to live over here, especially in Nigeria specifically, and certain norms that we don't even know where these things started, like where it came from, but it's just become the order of the day. So we're going to talk about things like that. Okay. However, today being, it's right now that I'm starting off, I feel the need to start off on a very calm note. I don't want to just go straight into the norms and talk about them and, tell you how I feel about them because trust me, I have quite a contrary view towards a lot of things that we hold on to, right? But I want to start on a very light note today. So what we're going to talk about right now, um, first of all, let me give you a little bit of a preface. Okay, so people usually send in some claims, right? So this is a claim that was made by someone, right? The person sent it across to me, and I'm just going to read that out, and I'll tell you what I think about that. Okay, that's how this is going to go now. The first thing here is someone is saying that people who leave their read receipts off are cowards. Let me just tell you, if I'm being honest, I have a special place in my heart where there's a lot of like anger towards people who leave their read receipt off. Because what is your problem? I totally agree. You are a coward if you go ahead and you put it off. You put your read receipt off. Why are you doing that? You see, people who do it, I feel like the main reason for doing it is because you want to avoid accountability. And that is not fair to me. Because look at me. I'm just going to be out there according to how people say it. Oh my God. My this thing is open. You get like everything that I'm saying to you, you can see it. When I finally open your message and read it, you can see it all. You get. But then for you, you're just gonna go ghost on me. I don't know when you've read my stuff. I can't hold you and be like, oh my God, you've ignored me for the past 2 hours. You can do that if you want to. It's not fair. If I ever were to have a conversation with Mark, you know who, I would tell him, see that read the receipt something, you better come out. Let nobody be able to stay anonymous like that. What is that feature for? Why does that even exist? It makes no sense. If you don't want to open the message, don't open it. You will not open it in secret and then we don't know that you opened it. It's not fair. So do I agree with the claim? Absolutely. I think people who leave their read receipt off are absolute cowards. That is how I feel about that. And that's what I know about them. Yeah. You're scared. Okay. Now let's talk about the next thing. Okay, this is interesting. It says Nigerians are the best in the world. They produce some of the most talented, resourceful, and resilient people globally, excelling in every field from arts and sports to science and technology. I agree with a lot of things that are said here. However, you see that very first line. Let's read that again. Nigerians are the best in the world. First of all, I have a problem with people who say that they are the best because what do you mean you're the best? So I've heard people say this in terms of like where they're from. Oh my God, Yoruba people are the best. Oh my God, Igbo people are the best. Oh my God, Hausa people are the best. Ijaw people are the best. I've heard all these things, and every time people say it, it's laughable to me because no, you're not the best. There's no group of people that we can look at and go, these guys are the best. Because amongst those people, we have thieves, we have liars, we have all sorts of people. So how then are you saying these people are the best when amongst them are people who do all these bad vices as well as good? But you get what I mean? Like for you to be the best, it means that you you're probably like perfect. You make no mistakes, you have no bad people, but you do. So you're not the best. Now about this saying in itself, The Nigerians are the best in the world. No, we're not. Do we have good people here? We do. But do we also have bad people? Yes, we do. That means we're not the best in the world. Let's be honest. Honesty is one thing that I wish people can embrace. The moment you're honest with yourself, that is one close step to being at peace because you're not going to be trying to like fake things because you're honest. You know your strengths, you know your weaknesses. You're not going to overdo. But when you start lying, well, yeah, that's a bad thing. Now, also what I've done is because a part of this also read that we produce some of the best people globally, right? Now, I want to talk about a couple of people that we have as popular figures here in Nigeria that a lot of people hold in high esteem. And I want to go ahead and give a rating of these people's personality, what they are about. And first of all, this is a little disclaimer, right? A lot of these people whose names I'll be mentioning, I love them. Some of whom are musicians. I listen to their songs, actors, I watch their movies, influencers, I look at their stuff. So it's not out of spite, but I'm just being honest and talking about how I feel about these people, okay? Now, let's dive into this. The first person on this list is Daniel Rega. And for me, Daniel Rega gets a 4 over 10 because he is, I know that there are moments that he says things that are interesting, like he tackles certain things that people do that you can agree with him. Okay, yeah, this person truly knows supposed to this thing. Danarega even said it that this person shouldn't have. Like it makes sense. But there are lots of times that Danarega would say things that, in my opinion, they're just to sort of like make people talk. I don't believe that he believes all of the things that he says, So I find it a little bit inauthentic there that, this is somebody who understands that social media can be manipulated in a way because people are very gullible on social media. They would see you say, "Oh, I like jumping," and they believe that you like jumping. People, a lot of times, are oblivious to sarcasm and all that. They don't know when you're joking, when you're serious. A lot of people just go like, "Oh yeah, this is what this person said." They go with that, and I think that Daniel has sort of understood this and plays that to his tune. So a lot of things that he says, they're not authentic, if you ask me. So for that reason, he gets a 4 over 10 coupled with the fact that some of the food that he eats and shows us online is it's an abomination. Human beings should not eat these things. Only people who are eligible to eat sacrifices are the people that should eat what he eats. So that is another thing that makes me give him a 4 over 10, and that takes me to the next person, who is Bob Risky. Now, the main reason why Bob Risky is going to get this rating of 3 over 10 for me is because he talks too much. Bobrisky is one person who, and first of all, someone who has such a loose tongue is not great to be friends with such a person. If you have a friend whose tongue just runs loose every now and then, there's a high chance that that friendship that you have with them will not last very long because, well, they're, they're going to say something that's going to throw you off. They're going to talk to somebody about something you said to them. It's just not a good idea. I wish that he can get to a point where he's more put together, and doesn't need to say things for clout. He's also someone who likes to resort to like clutches. Oh, look at me, I've got money. Look at all this money in my hands. You don't have to do that. Okay. We know you got money. Guys, I'm enjoying myself. Can you see I'm eating 3 meats? We get the point. You've made some money, okay? Don't try to impress us anymore. That's why Bob Risky is gonna get a 3 over 10 for me, the loose tongue. Now the next person here is Burna Boy. Burna Boy also gets a 3 over 10 for me because Burna Boy is one person who makes great music. As a matter of fact, in terms of music, when we have like the big three, I'm not gonna lie, I place Burna Boy at the forefront of like almost everyone else. Unless we're talking about the big four. If we have the big four, if we're talking about the big four, where of course I agree that Rema is a part of the big four, then I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna place Rema ahead. Rema is gonna take the number one spot because the versatility of this young man is incredible. But if we're talking about the big three, Burna Boy for me is way ahead. But in terms of like personality, oh my god, Burna Boy, I feel like Burna Boy is one person who I don't think therapy would work even because it's like he's so confident, but it's to a point where It has not crossed that line of confidence, and it's getting into a place where we can almost sort of categorize that under arrogance. That's how it is. And I would advise, I know that Burna Boy probably doesn't want to take advice from me because, I've not sold out the O2 Arena yet, which I will do. But right now, maybe he might not want to take advice from me, but hey, Burner, take my advice. Okay. It's a good one. I would like for you to sit back and think about all the people that might be hurt when just lash out the way that you do sometimes. I remember watching a concert recently where he performed and he just said he just talked about something, a particular light that was going off or whatever. I was like, if that light goes off again, I'm walking off the stage. It's things like that. That's like there's no empathy for the people who are paying tickets to come see you. You don't care if this happens, which is a mistake from one person. You're just gonna walk off the stage, and it's like, relax. You know what I mean? So it's if he's able to work on these things, right? I think for me, he's gonna be like a solid 10 because he's incredible. He's incredible. His music is awesome. And yeah, he's someone who should get a 10 over 10 on everybody's list, but it is what it is. Takes us to the next person, Wizkid, of course. Wizkid is one person who a lot of people love, Popsy, the Big Bird. He gets a 4 over 10 for me because, well, his personality is, and I don't blame you, if you're an introvert or an ambivert, you're not really a people person. I get that. But you see, the things that Whiskey in recent times has come to like X, Twitter, to say, it's like, why did you need to do that? Why are you, what's going on? It's things like that that make me sometimes lose a little bit of like respect for people because when you just attack someone unprovoked, it's a little, you know, there's that. There's also the fact that, well, I like that he carries himself the way that he does, but there's a little bit of distance between Whiskey and the rest of the world. And it's like, I know that you're special, but can you be like us sometimes, coupled with the fact that in recent times, I think that Whiskey, in terms of like music, I'm just gonna say that I miss the old Wizkid. There were songs that Wizkid had back in the days that were like, oh my goodness, how did a person make this amazing records? Like one of my favorite songs of all time from Wizkid has to be this one where it's like, oh my god, it's gone away from my brain right now. I would remember that and I'm gonna come back to that, right? But I do think that Wizkid gets a 4 over 10 for that reason. The next person on the list is Ira Star. Ira Star gets a whooping sum of 10 over 10. Yes, and I think the reason why this is because Ira Star is one very unproblematic person. Unlike some of the people that I've listed here, Ira Star, she's just living her best life, making great music. And you see the song Comma, 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 hey, that song is a banger. Absolutely. So she makes great music and she also has like a great personality. She's just a vibe, a burst of like positive energy every time you see her. I love that. So 10 over 10. Next on the list, we have Speed Darlington, who in recent times has been arrested. No surprise. So I'm going to start off with his music, right? Speed Darlington's music is. I'm trying to choose my words carefully here, but Speed Darlington's music is. If I needed to listen to music because I was on a sick bed and I needed to get well, and the only thing that could make me get well was music, and Speed Darlington's music was presented to me, I would reject it. I would say, you know what, let me go. Let me go. Keep the music because you don't know if it's talking or if it's just yeah, it's kind of like someone speaking. I would like for him to improve his pen game for sure. That's something that I think would help. So for me, Speed Darlington gets that's the point. That's the mark that I'm gonna leave him with. It's a 2 over 10. Now, I'm going to jump over to VDM, Very Dark Man, who is someone that a lot of people love and idolize. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not somebody who likes to be fanatical about people. I don't like it when people sort of like rave over. another person and you're like so obsessed with them and you think everything they do is good and perfect. I think that that is not the best approach, but at the same time, I like to commend people when they do good work. And Very Dark Man is someone who, when this started, I thought that what he was doing was great. It was nice, you know. But as time progressed, I realized that I could see a lot of things that sort of indicated sort of a bit of like narcissistic tendencies, someone who really thinks he's super smart and everybody else is like dumb. And I don't like it when people approach life like that. When you navigate the world thinking that you are one very brilliant person and you're not listening to other people, and every time something goes on, you want to say something about that. That is something that I wish that he can cut down on. And I would like for him to do what he's doing, because truly we need people to point out some wrongdoings around us. But I wish that Very Dark Man can just cut down a little bit, on the way that he looks at himself. And just a lot of times you hear him even say that Nigerians, a lot of Nigerians are dumb. A lot of Nigerians, it's like, no, bro, please don't say that. And there'll be people who say, yeah, but it's the truth. If you're going to give me advice and you're going to insult me first, you're going to disrespect me first, you better don't give me that advice, because at the end of the day, oh my God, had he been, I did not forget, that would be the case between us. Okay, let's jump to the next person here. We have Rema, who, for me, Rema gets a 9/10 because, of course, Rema makes great music. And I love the fact that he is very daring. He's not somebody who wants to remain in a box. He doesn't care about the norm. And that's exactly what this podcast is about. It encourages people to not stick with the norm because everybody is doing it. Everybody thinks this is normal, this is okay. So therefore you must. No, for Rema, he's going to carve his own niche, he's going to do his own thing. And I think that's incredible. So Rema gets a 9/10 for me. He also seems to have an amazing personality. He's not very rude. He's not the kind of person who you'd read on the news that is punching his fans or kicking his fans. He's incredible. I think he's a really cool guy. So he gets a 9/10 for me. And last, oh, not last on the list. We're almost at the last on the list, but we have Portable. Portable gets a 3/10 for me because, first of all, Portable's music, it's not bad, right? But it's like, okay. And it could use a little more work, if you ask me, right? But there's that. But the main reason why Portable is getting a 3/10 for me is because Portable does a lot of things that I think he does not put thoughts into. And this is funny because I remember one time I had a conversation with some colleagues of mine. It was sort of like a debate even. They said that Portable is probably the smartest person in the Nigerian music industry. And that to me was a very insulting thing to say. And I asked them, why do you think Portable is like so smart? According to them, the fact that he's able to constantly stay in the news, people are always talking about him. There's always, every now and then, every week. And I'm like, well, you see, the thing with that is you might think that no publicity is bad publicity, but trust me, some publicity is bad for you. Yeah. And not every publicity can translate to people truly valuing you. You may not get value just because you're trending, right? But anyway, Portable gets a 3/10. He does a lot of things unhinged, and I don't like it when people are not planned out, when you're not put together. You're just acting out. Mm, no, 3/10. Now, last on the list, we have President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I wonder what I'm going to give him. What is the score? How am I going to rate this amazing person? Well, for me, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu gets a rating of 0/10. And I say this because, well, there were lots of expectations right from when he became president. And if you ask me to talk about my president and whether or not that I'm proud of all of the achievements that he has made since entering office, I'm going to tell you that I'm more disappointed than impressed by far. But the thing that worries me about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or the thing that to me was a very big indicator from the start that this was going to be a very rocky, a very bumpy ride, is the fact that, well, from when the campaigns were being done, when they were running around trying to get people to vote for them and they were trying to like put their best foot forward, all of the candidates, one of the things that President Tinubu said during the campaigns that sort of surprised me was recruits, recruits, 50 million youths, sort of indicating that he would like for over 50 million youths or around 50 million youths to be recruited into the army. And I sat back and I thought about this like, yo, hold on. How many people do we have in Nigeria? This is a country that's populated with around 200 million people. And if we have 50 million women, and of course, women are usually like more than men typically, right? So let's say we have 70 million women that are maybe over like 40 or 30 even. I'm sure you don't want to put like women in 30 or men in 30 in the army. You know, that's not the recruitable age, right? So how does this work? We have old men, we have old women, we have children amongst the 200 million Nigerians. And yet you want to take out 50 million youths. All of the youths might even be 50 million in total. So you want to take all the youths and put them in the army. The moment I heard and I watched that video, I thought to myself, well, there's going to be a problem because if you're not one to really put your thoughts together and you're going to rule a country, well, you know what I mean? So that's like that was a red flag for me. And no, I'm not anybody who cares about politics. Okay. I'm talking about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a person, not as a president, you know, as a human being, as someone with insight, you know. These that's how I'm talking about him now. I don't care about the rest of the candidates. It didn't matter to me who it was that was going to win, which party was going to win. I just needed somebody with intellect. I just needed somebody with a high IQ to be president of this country. And if you ask me, I don't think we've ever had that. All of the presidents that we have had, all of the leaders, and it just shows a lot of times in Nigeria we don't even like pick the best people. The people that we pick to win certain reality TV shows, it's just out of emotions. Oh my God, this person was so poor, so let's give this person this 50 million or this 100 million. Oh my God, they were in the ghetto, so therefore let the ghetto win. Yay! You're rich, really, and you're contesting for this reality show. You don't need it. Go away. A lot of times Nigerians would vote with emotions, and that's why it also reflects in areas like this when we're choosing our governors or presidents. It's like, oh yeah, it's from my tribe, it's from my area. It's time for us to rule. Yay. Go Igbos, yeah, go Hausas, go Yorubas. It's our turn now. Yay. Why do we do that? Like it shouldn't even matter, but hey, that's where we're at. But anyway, this is where we wrap things up on what do we know for today. Like I said, this is a different approach that I've taken today because, well, I want to start on a light note. Now, imagine this being a light note. What's in store? It's going to be really, really interesting. So stick around with me and let's have fun unraveling life and, you know, let's figure things out together. All right. But for now, it's bye bye and be sure that you are following and keeping up with everything that goes on here. I'm Kelvin AB, and this is me signing out. Have a wonderful time.